Here's a favorite tip for us right now in our today's world. What is it that you would want to offer those who are watching this video?
Oh, in today's world.
In today's world, yeah. Well, in today's world, I would say, and I wrote about this, haven't posted it yet, for my word of the day, which is actually growth today, to, just really take advantage of the opportunity that we have right now. I mean, so many people are not traveling, they're not hours on the train, they're not taking their kids back and forth to extracurricular activities. There is, there's no concerts on or football games or whatever. There's so much space right now to really look and say, how can I leverage this time? Because that's our only non-renewable resource, is time. Once it's gone, it's gone. So how are you going to invest and capitalize on this opportunity? And I see it as an opportunity to deepen your learning and your opportunity for growth and living a flourishing life.
Well, I could share one. This is one I was thinking about the other day. It's a bit of a play on words, so bear with me here, okay? It's ground yourself in the acceptance of living on moving ground. Because the ground we're living on is moving, plate tectonics, quantum physics, depending on what you want to look at. Metaphysically, we're on a planet that's spinning. It's spinning around. We're moving, but we attempt to think of grounding as being something, I'll just ground myself so I understand. But there's also this notion that the ground we are grounding ourselves on is actually moving. So there's a play here of think about what's happening about for yourself and finding a centering, but at the same time knowing it's still moving. All right. And it's not like, and I would offer things like to go back to the way it was, right? And things like this may not be in your best interests. I just share it from that perspective.
Well, I have one. So there's a lot of people they're in fear right now. A lot of people in fear. And so the thing about fear is that you can actually end up creating the thing that you're afraid of if you allow yourself to stay in fear all the time. And so let me illustrate with a story. Yesterday I have this new puppy, and yesterday I was walking my puppy near a busy road, and he all of a sudden got very scared and was trembling. And he's a fairly large dog, and it's very difficult to walk a dog that is trembling, like in fear. And the thought actually crossed my mind that how am I going to manage this dog, because it wasn't the first time that it happened. And ultimately, when I thought about it, I thought, obviously the dog, it was a rescue. He's afraid of being rejected and being unsafe. But by being such a trembling mass, like out when we're walking along the road, he's actually putting himself at risk at being rejected. And because it's very difficult to deal with anyone who's living in that state of fear. And so I felt like, when I meditated on that, I thought, that's really a lesson for our time. And so it's not necessarily an easy thing to get out of fear, but let me give you a tip. And that is that in our brain, the chemical for fear and the chemical for excitement are actually really close to each other. So one thing I learned, and I've used this many times, is that when you're really afraid, if you actually just say it to yourself or say it out loud, I'm so excited, then it'll actually flip. It's so close, the chemical will flip, and you can actually start to feel excited. Because the reality is that, as Yvonne was saying, there's a lot of things are going to be different going forward, but different can be exciting. For me, it always has been exciting because it gives us the opportunity to recreate what is it that we really wanted that maybe we hadn't created yet for ourselves. And how can we do that for ourselves now? So that's
So I just made a couple short notes. So from my perspective, every person is unique. Each situation they are dealing with is unique to them. As a mentor, we need to customize the journey with uniqueness in order to meet their needs.
When you listen, you learn. Where you share, you educate. So whenever you listen, you're learning. Where you share, you educate. So when and where is a time and space consideration of learning and educating.
So now, if any time is the time for all of us to reach out and find that mentor that's going to help us navigate through these traumatic times that are facing us globally.
Oh, I so concur with both of you that I think now more than ever, we really need to develop our networks, build on relationships, reach out for areas where we're not feeling as strong as we could or should be. And there's so much wisdom. There's so many people out there who want to share. And again, more now than ever, I think, if anything, we're more connected, we're more tuned into one another than we've been. This reset has been good in many ways. So don't be afraid to reach out if there's areas of growth that you wish to move on. And from a mentor perspective, there's so much. We tend to underestimate the wisdom and the experience that each of us possess. And we all have something to share and to offer. And there's no greater gift. There's no greater gift given, and there's no greater gift received than that of someone's experience and wisdom. So be generous, because it will come back to you tenfold.